Hi, this is Terry. Should we put hi in there? Um, Today's topic or this video is about flexible budgets and a little bit on performance analysis. So let's move right to some data. Um, I guess the first thing to point out is we've studied a chapter on budgets. So with those budgets, we have a planned capacity of how much we're going to make, and we decided what the materials, labor, overhead, etc., what all our costs were going to be. This chapter turns around and says that's great to have a budget, but that budget is only going to be good at one level. So if we plan to produce 50,000 units and we produce 60,000, then we can't use the budget based on 50,000. What we have to do is restate that budget. In other words, make it a flexible budget that restates how much we should have spent at 60,000 units. So that 50,000 restated to 60,000. Then we can compare our actual, well, it's off the screen, so ACT will go down. Compare the actual to the flexible. All right, so let's see this happen. Let's say that Rick owns hairstyling. So he's cutting hair and he charges $180 for a haircut. I pay about 10, but this guy charges 180, so we're good. He's planning at 1,000 units, a thousand haircuts. So 180 Q represents the number of haircuts. So 180 times 1,000 would be 180,000. The wages and salaries is a mixed cost, so we have a fixed and a variable component. So 65,000 is the fixed, and then the variable component is going to be $37 per haircut. The supplies you need is $1.50 per haircut, so it's variable. Client gratuities, which are things like, I don't know, handing out free bottles of shampoo or, I don't know, candy, whatever it is. So the client gratuities is $4.10 per haircut, so it's variable. The electricity is a mixed cost, so 1,500 fixed and 10 cents variable. Then the rent is fixed, insurance is fixed, liability insurance is fixed, health insurance is fixed, and then the miscellaneous is just lumped together. We don't really care what the miscellaneous is for our purposes here. So at this point, at 1,000 haircuts, Rick is planning on or has budgeted that he'll make 16,800. So now let's go down here and see that the actual 16,800 was the planned net income. The actual was 21,230. He had actually did 1,100 haircuts when he planned on 1,000. So your first thought might be, yeah, he did better. I mean, 21,000 is greater than 16,000. But that would be false thinking. That would be not managerial accounting thinking. If we compared this, and I think I'm going to kind of skip over this because I think the other slides down here will make more sense. So let's say that what we're going to do is restate this, restate our budget, but we're going to make our flexible budget based on 1,100. So 1,100 times $180 per haircut should give us revenue of 198. Remember that the wages and salaries was 65,000 fixed, 37 per haircut. So the new number is 105,700. The hair supplies was $1.50 a haircut. The gratuities 410. Electricity was a mixed cost. Then we have the rent, the liability insurance, the employee health insurance, and the miscellaneous. we see that the amount of money that he should have made was much more. It was 30,510. So if we skip back up and look here, he made 21, and how much should he have made? Well, based on our flexible budget, 30,000. So if we put these together, and we want to go to here, so I'm on Transparency Master 9-8. If we put these side by side, the restated flexible budget, which is taking our original budget of 1,000 and restating each one of these, right? Each one of these items at the 1,100 units. Then we look at the actual numbers. This is how many we actually did. Then we see all of these. Should I circle that again? 1,100. Then we see that we're unfavorable, that of our revenues, we're short or unfavorable 3,800, that we spent too much on wages, and that our client gratuities, we spent way more than we were supposed to. We're just giving away too much product. And therefore, we actually lost $9,280 of what we should have made. So even though we're making more than the static budget, when we restate the flexible budget, we see that the difference between how much we should have made at the restated amount compared to our actual amount, we're short 9,000. And this is what managers have to do. We have to turn around and say, okay, our revenues are off by 3,800. What's the reason? Did we give haircuts away? Did we give a 2-for-1 special that that we did 1,100 haircuts, but 20 of those haircuts were freebies? For whatever reason, we need to be able to go back into what actually happened and be able to justify why we're that much off. So the first thought's going to be theft. Second thought would be things like, again, giving away free haircuts but not documenting and changing that 1,100 number. Client gratuities, giving away free bottles of shampoo and conditioner and those kind of issues. We just gave too much product away. And this is what your employees will tend to do, is they will, to make customers happy and get bigger tips, they'll turn around and give away things. In restaurants, servers are always giving away a free dessert or free soup or something. The idea there is when you get something free that you'll tip more. So maybe that's what they're hoping for, is by giving away free bottles of shampoo that they'll get a bigger personal tip, and that comes at the cost of the business. All right, short video. Hope you enjoyed it.